doing this thing lately that I think really hinders my creative practice, and that's waiting until I feel inspired to do anything creative. I have so many ideas I want to work on, but I find myself waiting until the moment feels just right, and to be honest, it rarely is right. Maybe you've been there too. I think it's a creative block that I've hit, and I just want to get past it. If you're new here, my name is Karla, and I'm an artist from Ontario, Canada. Over the next 10 days, I'm challenging myself to create something new every single day, regardless of whether I feel inspired to create anyway. My hope is that this might actually help me feel more creative. That by just starting the work, even though I don't really feel like it, maybe the inspiration will start to flow. Henry Matisse said, "Don't wait for inspiration. It comes while one is working." So, that's what I'm going to do. Here we go. Today is day 1 of creating anyway. I pulled over the car on my way home from a breakfast date with my husband to pick these lemon queen blooms that were growing wild on the side of the road. I keep a pair of scissors stashed in my glove compartment just for this reason. Anyway, I thought I could use them for a drawing reference, and I started working on a little lemon queen and dogwood drawing. As soon as I started it, I was like, ugh, not my favorite, I don't love it. But I do know that it always drives me absolutely crazy to open up my sketchbooks and see drawings that I never finished. So I'm determined to finish it. Like I said earlier, I just need to do the work even though I don't feel inspired. I got as far as the outline before my baby woke up from her nap, and I had to tuck it away until the evening. I did work on it a bit more overnight, which I didn't film. Here we are at day 2 of creating anyway. I dropped my older 2 kiddos off at school and came home to make a coffee and jump right into drawing. Nella fell asleep, so it was the perfect time for me to do the work, even though I truly did not want to. Just not feeling creative at all, more like this is another chore. And all I have left to do here is a few more pen details and filling in the background with black paint pen. I kept looking at this piece last night while I was adding in the details and thinking this is the ugliest thing that I've ever drawn. I considered scrapping it entirely in favor of something new and less hideous, but I know I'll be mad at myself if I go that route. I know all artists probably go through that. Everything I make is awful and I'm a terrible artist, inner dialogue. But I don't think this is one of those times when I think that and then it turns around and I end up making something amazing. I still kind of hate this drawing. I don't want to work on it. The black is a bit too dramatic for me, and the juxtaposition of the heavy black background and the light florals is just, I don't know, it's just not for me. I think I prefer when my work is a bit more delicate or airy, but I think the important thing is that I spent some time creating and I finished this piece before Nella woke up. And on to day 3. I started sketching this out this morning before my kids woke up. I recently stumbled across a couple of these drawings that I did maybe 3 years ago. I really loved the composition and the florals that I drew, but technically they just aren't aligned with my current work. I know my skills have grown so much over the last few years, and I thought it would be kind of fun to try to redraw a few of the pieces. I also thought that this would be an easy way to help with my creative block since I know exactly what I need to draw and I don't need to put any thought into it. I got as far as the outline this morning before Nella woke up. But I did end up finishing the line work later on, and I captured a little time lapse of it. I'll share the final piece at the end of this vlog. Day 4. Welcome back to my studio, aka my kitchen counter. I managed to get up before my kiddos this morning and get some coffee and quiet time in before anyone else was around. Today I'm going to do another redraw. This is another piece I drew 3 or so years ago. Again, I love the floral pairings and the composition, but I think I can just do a better job of it with cleaner lines and more intentional details. You know, if I didn't challenge myself to draw every day, I might have never tried doing this redraw of old drawing thing, and I'm so glad that I did though. It's probably the most satisfying thing that I've done in a while. To be able to look side by side at 2 almost identical drawings, yet see my evolution as an artist. It's making me want to revisit more of my old work, maybe even from when I used to do a lot of watercolor pieces. Who knows? I was able to finish the rest of this piece this evening. Here it is. Day 5. Today, I'm drawing some white anemone and Japanese anemone. I struggled to fit in this drawing today since it was a busy Saturday and my husband's away for a few days, but I somehow ended up with about 45 minutes of quiet time while my youngest napped and the other 2 played Barbies, and let me tell you, I took full advantage. Normally when I find these pockets of time, I'm filling them with all the chores. But I'm so glad I instead sat down and made something, spent some time being creative. And, spoiler alert, the dishes still eventually got done, but I felt creatively fulfilled. Day 6. Today I drew some wild roses and a dwarf sunflower. I woke up before anyone else in the house again and took out some drawing paper. Usually when I wake up really early, I end up mindlessly scrolling Instagram because I don't want to make much noise. But drawing is also really quiet, and I felt more awake or alive after half an hour of drawing compared to half an hour of the alternative. I think using my mind to do something creative really helped me feel in charge of my day to an extent. I found more time to work on this piece in the afternoon, and again after the kids were in bed. Here's what I ended up with. Here we are at day 7, and I decided to draw a circle and confine the florals I draw within the outline of it. I've done pieces like this before, and I always love how they turn out. This one's pretty small, so I knew I'd be able to finish it today. I honestly can't believe that today is already day 7, and that I've managed to find time every single day so far to create something. And something else I noticed was that I had like zero resistance to starting today, which has not been typical. I got home from walking my girls to school, poured a coffee, and started right away without even really thinking about it. This is exactly what I want my days to be like, and a big part of why I started this challenge in the first place. Here is how the day 7 piece turned out. Day 8. I didn't film any of this piece while I was making it, but here's the final drawing. It's definitely not my best work, but I do like how clean the lines are, and I like the combination of the large blooms and the lavender. I might play around with this piece a little bit more another day. But I feel like it's finished for now, and I can check off another day creating in the books. On to day 9, the second last day in this challenge. I thought I'd change things up a bit and do some watercolor painting, but I had no paper left. I've been using watercolor paper for my ink drawings because I love how the ink sits on the textured paper, so I've been going through it fairly quickly. I figured I'd pop by Michael's and grab a pad for today's piece. Of course, there's none of the paper that I like to use in stock, so I'm going to have to think about what I can create instead. I did grab a new jelly roller while I was here, and Nella had a lot of fun pushing the cart around, so I guess it wasn't a complete failure of a trip. But then Nella fell asleep on the way home from the craft store and kind of ruined her nap time, so I was a bit worried I was going to miss that little window of free time I have and not be able to draw. When we got home, I had a Pure Later delivery, and it was this amazing new play kit from Lovevery. Lovevery makes the most amazing toys for kids for each stage of their development. We've been slowly collecting them for about 5 years now, and they make up the majority of the toys my kids own. I'm hoping that she'll be engaged with the new pieces and I'll be able to draw something. If you'd like to check out Lovevery, there is a link in the video description down below with a discount code for 10% off your purchase. Since I wasn't able to pick up my watercolor paper, I thought I'd change things up a bit and do some little polaroid picture drawings that I love to draw. Adding a bit of watercolor gouache in the background is usually pretty satisfying, so here we go. I think I've managed to make this challenge easier for myself by doing things that I know I can accomplish, like today. I don't know if I'll have much time, but these Polaroid pictures are tiny and they don't take very long to do. Or the other days when I simply redrew old illustrations. It took off any pressure for me to create something amazing and new and allowed me to just enjoy the process of making something. And here we are at the final day of this challenge, day 10. Today I'm drawing some Scabiosa, Peony, and Dahlia. I'm drawing on Canson mixed media paper instead of the Strathmore watercolor paper I've been working with since I ran out, and I don't love it as much. It has less texture and the paper is a bit thinner, but I still like how the ink sits on the paper, so it will do. I do love drawing Scabiosa, but they aren't one of the flowers that I gravitate towards as often. I think I need to branch out a bit more from the usual flowers that I draw and start building up experience with different varieties. I was able to finish up most of this piece during nap time, and I added the final details in the evening, making my 10-day Create Anyway challenge complete. I've had a couple days to reflect on this challenge, and I have a few takeaways I'd like to share. When I started this challenge, I knew it would be difficult balancing the needs of 3 kids, my freelance work, family commitments, and everything else that goes along with being a working mom. I think the biggest reason I was successful with this, managing to spend some time every day to create, was because I didn't put any pressure on myself to make anything amazing or even new for that matter. I think the process of drawing every single day became a way for me to clear my head, giving me almost like a blank slate or a fresh start for when I was done. I felt like I wasn't carrying anxiety or stress with me when I was drawing, and I felt accomplished afterwards. Another thing that I realized spending this time drawing, which usually equated to about an hour or 2, didn't take away from any other parts of my life. I was able to find pockets of time to work and still take care of the needs of myself and my family. I think a big reason why I haven't spent time drawing in the past is because I always feel like there are more important things to do. But the truth is, I now know I can balance both. If you're still watching this, thanks so much for being here. I hope you enjoyed taking part in this creative 10-day challenge with me. And maybe I've even inspired you to try your own challenge. Until next time, bye.